In this video, you're going to learn all about cauliflowers, backruns and blooms. These are things as watercolour artists we try to avoid, but there are also times when I love to use these to add texture. So I'll show you how to avoid them, and I'll also show you how you can use these to your advantage to add texture and interest to your paintings. Here are some paintings where I use blooms to add texture, and this is one of my favourite methods to use actually to add visual interest to my paintings. So they're not always bad, but there are times when you want to avoid them, especially if you're trying to get a flat wash. So let's dive straight in and I'll show you a demonstration of how to avoid these and where you can use them to your advantage as well. Some of the ways that I like to use blooms in my watercolour paintings is to actually drop clean water into areas. When the paint has started to dry, the water pushes out the paint and you get a lighter middle and then a darker outer edge, which leaves these beautiful blooms, which I think look a lot like snowflakes and rain, and I just love the look of these. They leave these beautiful organic shapes, which is very hard to create if you just used a paintbrush. So I love the fact that you can just drop clean water or paint water into these areas and just create these lovely textures. I think it adds a little bit of something else to the painting and just gives you something extra to look at. I love using this simple method. I think it's a really good free way to add texture to your paintings, and I tempt you to have a go because I think you'll have so much fun doing this. Now I'm going to show you how you can avoid blooms, backruns and dark edges. I'll show you what I mean by dark edges. So let's just pop down a simple shape. Maybe you're painting some leaves. I've just painted a nice even layer of watercolour now. But say I decided that I wanted to add more colour, and I've picked up a big puddle of water and I'm just adding that to my leaf. Can you see how there's a massive puddle now? What's going to happen is that excess water is going to start flowing into the already drying wash, and that's going to push the paint out, and then you're going to end up with harsh edges. And I'll show you what that looks like at the end. The way that you can avoid this is to make sure that you've got a nice even layer of paint. So if you paint on your paint like this, and let's pick up too much water just to show you because I'm trying to explain what I mean. So I've got loads of water here, and you definitely don't want loads of water. So what you can do is take your cloth and dry your brush so it's just damp. And then you'll use your brush then to suck up the water. So this acts as a bit of a straw, and that'll just pick up the excess water. It won't take the paint off the paper. It'll just lift up the water that is too much on your paper. And then if you dab your brush on the cloth in between, you can use your damp brush then to push your paint around and create a nice even layer of paint on the paper, so you won't get dark edges, and you'll end up with the same colour all over your shape. I'll show you the difference between these two at the end once this one has dried, which will probably take about half an hour because there's loads of water on that. I'll show you what I mean by backruns. I'm going to paint some paint here, and then I'm going to wait a little while and allow it to dry. Not completely, but I'm going to allow it to dry just a little bit so the sheen on top leaves the paper in and it becomes dull rather than shiny. I can see that the sheen has started to leave the paper now, so that means that it's drying to the stage of being damp, and I call this the danger zone. So I'm going to take some clean water now. There's quite a lot of water on my brush, and I'm just going to touch that to the end of that there. So this is what happens when you soften an edge. The paint starts running into the water, but can you see how now that water has started to push into the paint? So because this paint is already drying, it's pushing into the paint and it's creating these white areas. It's pushing back the paint. So you're going to get a dark mark. Can you see the dark mark forming here? It kind of looks like a wave, doesn't it? This is a really good technique actually if you want to create a wave on the edge of your sea. You can see where the water is pushing into the paint, so it's creating a really light area on the edge, and then it's creating a dark edge as well where the pigment is sort of settling. I'll show you what I mean by blooms. I'm going to do the same thing with this. So I'm going to add some clean water into the already drying wash. So once the sheen has left the paper, I'll drop the water in, and that's the perfect time to form blooms. If you've followed me for a while, you know that I use blooms quite a lot to add texture to my watercolour paintings, and I've used this quite a few times on my Skillshare classes, so I'll leave my Skillshare classes down below for you to have a look at. I've got some lovely step-by-step watercolour tutorials, including a cockerel and a snowman where I use these watercolour blooms. So now I'm going to show you what happens when I add a bit of clean water into the already drying wash. It's going to start pushing the paint out, and you're going to get these hard edges. So when I said avoiding dark edges, this is exactly what I meant. So it's going to create these lighter areas in the middle where the water is, and then it's pushing out the paint, and that's why you've got that dark edge, because that's the pigment in your paint. I love using these, like I said, I just think it adds lots of lovely texture. But if you want to avoid this, then avoid adding watery paint or water into your paint while it's drying and the sheen has left the paper. If you want to add more layers, I would allow your watercolour to dry completely and then re-wet it, and then you can add a second layer on. We're going to start off by painting around a simple object. Next, I'm going to take my paint and I'm just going to drop that colour in. And I'm just going to drop in some clean water droplets. You want to make sure that paint is not dry, but it's not soaking wet either. You've got to really do this at the perfect time. But can you see what's happening? That water is pushing out the paint and it's creating these gorgeous cauliflower effects, which to me, they look like little snowflakes. This is a really lovely effect to use on landscapes and for backgrounds for sea animals, or adding texture to animals or portraits. And can you see how gorgeous that is? If you wanted to use a smaller brush, you could just take a smaller brush and then drop smaller droplets in, and you'll get smaller droplets forming. Thank you for watching today. I hope you had fun learning how to avoid cauliflowers, but also how to use them in a positive way as well. If you've got any questions, if you'd like me to cover anything in this series on how to paint in watercolours, let me know in the comments box below and I'll make a note of that. I am making a series of short videos on YouTube on how to paint with watercolours, because I'm self-taught and I wish there was something like this around when I first started learning how to paint in watercolours. It definitely would have helped my watercolour journey to progress a little faster, and I would have gained a lot more confidence knowing the essential tips that I know now. So, happy painting, happy practicing. Also, give me a like, it helps my channel to grow. And if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss my future tips videos, because in my next video, I'm going to be talking about how I mix my colours. I'm also going to be covering my favourite colour mixes, and I'll see you soon. Bye.